What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort?
Tragic. Tragic!
Guys do not approach you at the bar not because you're not pretty, but it's because of this.
Modern dating is a paradox, a comedy, a horror show. We've reached a point where women are now sitting on bar stools, dripping in perfume, layered in makeup, surrounded by girl squads, and wondering, why isn't any guy coming to talk to me? Friend. I don't get it. I wore my backless dress. I'm giving off sexy energy. I even made eye contact with him for like 0.2 seconds and he didn't come talk to me. What is happening to men? Yeah, what is happening to men? But hold up. Before I drop the hammer of truth here, if you want this channel to stay alive, if you want more fire like this, do your part. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and most importantly, turn on the notification bell. I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing this for clarity.
It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put an effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance, and my mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gone married, they would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer. And he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her. And now they're married, and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact. Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now, because men just don't care anymore.
So she sits there and asks, why don't men try anymore? Where's the effort? The consistency? Let me guess. You want good morning texts, spontaneous dates, flowers on a Tuesday, but you don't even say thank you when a guy opens the door. Friend! You want 1950s treatment with 2025 behavior. That's not how it works. You can't scream independence, I don't need a man, and then wonder why no one's doing boyfriend applications like it's LinkedIn. Modern men are not stupid. They've watched their friends get dragged through toxic relationships, lose money in divorces, get called manipulative for simply not texting back within 4 minutes. And now, they're not signing up. They're not applying to be your emotional support peasant. They're investing in themselves. And to you, that feels like laziness? Nah, that's called self-preservation.
I've been going to the bars every weekend with my friends, maybe for the past couple months, and I love it. I love socializing, and I'm single. And my friend and I were talking at the bar the other weekend, and we were talking about how we've never been approached by a single guy before. Like, maybe ever, which is just insane to think about. Like, I can name a couple occurrences where they have, but it was like people from Europe, and they're like a different breed of people, okay? So I feel like the culture in America is way different. Guys do not want to approach you, not because of how pretty you are or how you look, but it's really because they're scared of you. And then us women over here who are single are thinking like, we look amazing, we did our makeup, we chose the perfect outfit. Why aren't all these guys coming up to us? Even if we're not into them, why don't they just come up just to like make us feel good about ourselves? Okay. Now I want you to think of the perspective of a guy. I'll never know what's in a man's head, but I have a pretty good idea from like my guy friends and going out a lot. Guys are intimidated by you, okay? They don't all have that courage or charisma or just bravery to go up to you like you have to somebody else. And on top of just being intimidated by going up to a stranger in general, you're probably surrounded by a big group of friends. And even worse if you're surrounded by your guy friends, because they're going to assume that you're dating one of them, and no one wants to go up to a girl who's surrounded by a bunch of guys, okay? It's just a cock block. So now you're probably thinking, okay, we have this information, but what do we do with it? First off, I don't really think bars are the best place to really find a relationship. It's great to meet people, have fun, really get to know other people. But if you're putting all your eggs in one basket and really putting so much pressure on finding a guy that will take you seriously, that's going to be very hard. The other thing is that we always make fun of dating apps a lot, but I think the percentage is something like 60% of people now meet their significant other on the internet. Because people don't go up to other people anymore because they know they can meet you on a dating app. It's so much easier. This past Saturday, I literally went up to a group of guys and was like, do you want to play cards? I wasn't attracted to any of them, but I'm so happy I did it because I made a new group of friends and it was so much fun. And initially I thought that they weren't that fun. Like, they just seemed like they were like moping around. They all had RBFs, like whatever, and I went up to them and they ended up being the funniest group of guys ever. And I'm sure a lot of guys think of you that way too. You might have like an RBF, or just you don't seem approachable, but little do they know how you really are. So the takeaway from this video is that guys not coming up to you out in public says nothing about you. You can literally be like Gigi Hadid and a guy's still not going to come up to you. Guys are intimidated, and it takes so much courage to go up to a girl. And a lot of guys are cheap and just don't want to buy you a drink, and they're scared of getting used for a drink, which kind of sucks, but I understand. So do not weigh your worth in whether or not people come up to you, because you are probably way more stunning and people are probably way more attracted to you than you think they are.
Here comes another classic. Men don't approach women anymore. I go to bars and nothing happens. Girl, just stop. You've got your resting don't even look at me face on. You're glued to your phone, surrounded by your squad in full intimidation mode, and yet somehow you expect a prince to cross the desert, slay a dragon, dodge a feminist think piece, and approach you with a cocktail? Really? This ain't Disney and the bar ain't a rom-com set. Dudes today know the risk. One wrong look and they're creepy. One innocent comment and now they're being filmed for TikTok clout. The truth is, men aren't scared to approach. They're tired of being punished for trying. And you won't even throw a smile. No eye contact. Nothing. And then go home crying, "No one came up to me, friend." Maybe next time, take off the attitude before the makeup.
Stop getting married. It's 2025. You're just wasting your time. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life with another human being and then have to pay 10 grand just to divorce them? And I'm not even talking about kids. So like, why go through that stress? Why go through that hassle? Because society said so? Society says it's your duty to have kids, only for you to traumatize your kids because your marriage is so awful? It's just way better being single and dating around. Why commit to one person for the rest of your life? There's always someone better. You're just wasting your time.
Now this man right here dropped nuclear truth. Marriage in 2025 is a bad deal. No lies detected. Zero cap. Dudes out here doing the math, and the numbers don't lie. Why sign up for a contract where you give up half your assets, lose your freedom, and potentially get divorced over a bad mood or a girl trip to Ibiza? And let's be real. What's the incentive? The loyalty? Rare? The respect? Conditional? The peace? Gone. Men have seen the stats. They've heard the horror stories. They've watched their uncle's life get destroyed. And so now they're choosing freedom, choosing mental health, choosing peace. And to those still pushing the real men marry narrative, save it. Real men think. Real men observe. Real men choose wisely. And sometimes the smartest choice is to walk away from the deal entirely. So let's wrap this circus up. Women asking why men stop trying, but offer nothing in return. Women wondering why they're invisible in bars, while giving zero signals of openness. And men finally saying out loud what they've been whispering for years: that the system is broken, the game is rigged, and peace is better than performing. This channel, we're not here to sugarcoat. We're not here to simp. We're here to talk real, laugh a little, expose a lot. So if you're tired of the same fake deep advice, the same recycled delusion, stick around, because here we say it exactly how it is. No filter, no fear. Stay sharp, stay smart, and don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn that notification bell to all, because the next truth bomb is coming real soon.